All right, gang, we're officially 0-2 in fantasy, but it's not quite as bad as it looks. So last week we played the team that scored the most points in the league, and the team we played today scored like the exact same amount of points. So we've by far had the toughest schedule. The first 2 weeks, we're not happy with scoring 92 points, but Coach has some good news for why that shouldn't happen again. But first, we're going to focus on all the negatives. First is the worst news is our number one pick, which was Trevion Henderson. Nobody else would have taken a number one but Coach anyway. But he still seemed like a solid second to fourth round pick somewhere in there, right? Like people would have trusted him at least as their number two running back, and he just hasn't done pretty much anything so far. So Coach is still waiting for him to break out, but he is officially benched until he does break out. He has to give us at least one really good week before he sniffs the starting lineup again. But Swift played well, the other running back, as did Montgomery. So if we would have just benched Henderson, we wouldn't have too much to worry about at running back other than the fact that both of their running backs went off. The other dude, his players just went crazy. Nakua, player that Coach knew was top 5 talent all day and was getting drafted in that range, pretty much no later than 10th in most drafts. And he goes for like 27 points. But the good news is almost nobody doing like awful except Henderson. Like, let's take a closer look. He only got 3 attempts, so hopefully they just start trusting him. He's supposed to be the best overall pick in the draft, right? And he did catch 2 catches as a points per reception league, so if he can start getting some targets, right? But he's battling with 2 guys. Coach thinks there's no way we cut him. But not just because of his draft position, but just because of Coach thinks there's still a ton of high upside, right? Top 10 pick. But this top 10 tight end, Loveland, that thank God we didn't start this week, coming up with another 0, while Harold Fannin Jr. comes up with another big week, right? Pretty much matching Kelsey's production. We would have been good either way, right? That makes Loveland completely expendable. So what we're going to do is drop Loveland for... check it out. Jared Goff went off for 34 points. Okay, he had 5 touchdowns, 334 yards. So we're going to put the claim in, drop Copeland. We're pretty low on the waiver wire, but hopefully, people aren't trying to scoop him up. We'll see. Right now, and we're just going to roll with 3 quarterbacks. Coach doesn't feel like cutting Stroud or Stafford, especially if like injury stuff could pop up. So Coach says we roll with 3 and just drop the tight end, because we currently have 3 tight ends. Why not just have 3 quarterbacks? So drop the tight end for a quarterback, and then Coach says pick Ford back up, who didn't look great, but he's like finding a way to get fantasy points, right? Like he only had 31 yards, but they're throwing him the ball. So he actually ended up getting like 10 points, which wouldn't have been good enough to start for us at running back, but he could have been a starting flex. We had a bunch of guys like Miles Sanders and Fannin Jr. And someone else. Who else was it? I can't remember, but coming up with pretty much the same amount of points they could have started at flex. So Ford did produce enough, and we originally had him on the team. Coach says we scoop him back up. In my dad's league, someone dropped the Ohio State one for the Browns, the running back. I can't think of it. Oh, Quinshon Judkins. We would probably scoop him up because he had like about the exact same amount of points as Ford, just to mix it up. We would probably scoop up Judkins just because he hasn't technically had a bad week like Ford has. He just was suspended. But we're probably going to pick up Ford. I guess drop Tesla, which Coach doesn't love, because even though he only had a few points today, he was sick last week and still found a way to get a touchdown. But yeah, coming up with 3 points. Wow, I didn't see Harrison Jr. did so terribly. What the hell happened? Did he get hurt or something? Okay, Murray only threw 1 touchdown pass. So he's inconsistent. Shit, I didn't know that. Well, the good news is we don't need him. not right now. He can stay on the bench, and we didn't have him in the starting lineup anyways, so we're not worried about that. Montgomery is definitely going to be starting for us next week. Fannin Jr. might find a way to hop into that flex spot too. We might roll with 2 tight ends. Coach wanted to do that anyway. Travis Hunter with another disappointing performance. Once again, we wouldn't cut him because of the upside with also playing defense. He's mainly been playing offense. Hopefully he could play defense, get a defensive touchdown or something crazy. So coach would still want to keep him just for the upside, but probably riding the pine for a while. Garrett Wilson with a little bit of a down week, but 9's an acceptable floor when he had such a great week last week, and we expect him to bounce back. Now, as far as talking about the Lions scoring like 50 points, coach would have expected that, being that's their first home game, and they lost week 1, but that was on the road. Right, so coach likes that, we got them winning the Super Bowl and their fans are all pumped up. They just threw a shitload of points on the board for the home team, or the home crowd, I should say. So coach is pumped there. Kelsey's still doing his thing. He's not blowing away Fannin Jr. We're definitely glad we scooped Fannin Jr., but we should have picked up Goff too. So we like that Sanders bounced back. Let's see what he actually did. 5 for 15, but he got a touchdown. Way to get in the end zone, Miles. He didn't fumble that time like a fucking idiot. So getting touchdowns helps. A lot of our guys have found the end zone this year, so that's good. Coach is definitely looking for a win next week. No fucking doubt. Obviously, we always are, but we are not trying to go 0-3. That seems insurmountable. So we'll get a win on the board. Coach, appreciate you. Let me know your thoughts. Oh, and let's check out A.J. Dillon. I think he's still not really doing anything. Sorry. Old Quadzilla here. So coach accidentally left out the good part. So if we would have played correctly this week, we would have ended up with 125 points, which is better than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6 other teams this week. So we definitely have a competitive squad.